Heather, are you ready for the new intro song?
Not really.
Hit it.
It's definitely much better than the last one.
You like this? The build up? Wait for it.
It's definitely, I'd give this a 7.5 out of 10.
I will gladly
versus the other one that was like a literal 2 out of 10.
I mean, I will take whatever if you can give me anything.
I feel like
over
we could get
5.
better, but like at the same time, I'll take it.
What don't you like about this?
It's just a little hard, but that's fine.
I like hard though. That's
all right. Brian, fade it out. We're done.
Listen, I will take a 7.5 from Heather Collins. I'll take whatever I can get. Welcome back, everybody. We are on episode 2 of the Hey Big Head show. It didn't take 3 years for us to come back.
Yeah,
it took just a week to come back for round
and then
2.
We're off for like 3 weeks.
And then we're off for the holidays and all that thing. Yeah.
What a great time to start a podcast.
Listen, episode 1 was working out the kinks. Episode 2 is we're just rolling with it now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
How do you feel about that, Heather?
I finally got a fucking chair. Last week I had a rolly chair, and this week I got a yellow chair, and then I'm not even sitting in it today.
She hates the chair. Yeah, she was in the shadows last week, and she came out, and now we got to this beautiful yellow chair that goes great with the set, complements the blue couch we have.
Yeah, and who picked that color?
Was it you?
Yeah.
It was you. Obviously, it was you. I have
Everything
zero
is
fashion
me.
taste. Zero fashion taste.
Andrew's life would be a mess if it wasn't for me.
Why aren't you sitting in the chair today?
Because I just felt like the couch was a better place to be.
Do you just want to sit on the couch permanently?
No.
Do you want a better chair?
No, I don't mind the yellow chair when we have guests, but for now I want the couch.
Okay. You heard it here first. When Heather goes from the couch to the chair, if we have guests on the couch, then she's not going to be upset.
No.
Okay, good. Excellent. That's great.
We're making progress.
Video proof. I love it. Episode 1 was a lot of fun. We had Michael Richter on. He crushed it with the 3 songs that he made. Had some really good reviews and feedback from that.
We had Lauren on.
We had Lauren on, Lauren Wise, who won.
She won her slap bet.
She won her first
I gotta
power
say,
slap. Stop saying slap. Slap bet's from
or
How I Met
slap
Your
bet.
Mother.
Sorry. I watched too much How I Met Your
You've
Mother.
watched way too much How I
Power
Met Your
slap.
Mother.
Power slap.
Yes.
I have to say, watching her video, because she showed us, I don't know if this is out yet, but she showed us the actual footage.
Mm-hmm.
She looks like a beast.
She took those hits like a champion. Although, so let's break it down for people who haven't seen it yet and probably won't see it because it's not being aired. It went all 3 rounds.
Correct.
She slapped 3 times. The other girl slapped her 3 times.
They both did something called cupping.
Cupping, right.
So cupping is when you don't hit your opponent, you actually cup, and it actually could hurt them. I found out. Lauren taught me. So she thinks that she has a little brain problems now.
Concussions.
And the other girl had a gnarly bruise on her face.
She did. And now the cupping is against the rules. So she actually got docked a point.
But thank goodness they both did
Right.
it. Because I feel like maybe Lauren wouldn't have won if she only did it and the opponent didn't do it.
Something I noticed too was Lauren, when she took those hits, her neck moved with it. Like
Yeah.
she got slapped and it looked like she got slapped.
And then the opponent, like when she got hit, her neck she like was clenching up. So I don't know what's the better practice. Is it let your head fly or what is that song? Let your head roll or heads will roll?
Heads will roll by
Off with your head. That's maybe Lauren's walkout song.
that would be a great walkout song.
That would be a great walkout
The
song.
Amazonian is what she's going by now. The Amazonian.
Is it really?
That's her nickname.
I love that for Lauren. But yeah, she looked like a beast.
She looked like a beast, had a
Her
minor
hair was
scratch.
all cute. It was like little pigtails
Yeah.
and pink little highlights. It was
She
so
looked good.
cute. Yeah.
Her nipples were out though.
I did ask her. This was the best part. Me, Andrew, and Lauren and Devin went out to dinner the other night to celebrate Lauren's win. And Lauren goes, "That was the best feeling of my life." And I look over at Devin and I go, "Did you hear that, Devin? It was the best feeling of her life."
And Devin took that personally and took her home and had his way with her.
I'm sure he
And
did.
I'm sure he knocked it out of the park.
I'm sure she still thinks that her slap bet was still better than her
Power slaps. That's not slap bet. You have
I'm changing the name to slap bet.
We're gonna call Dana White and let him know that we're changing the name to slap bet from power slap.
Perfect.
But no, I'm really happy for her. So great job, Lauren.
We'll have to have her back on the show to really tell us the story.
And I'll tell you what, we had her and Michael on. She had more views than Michael, which was shocking on Instagram. And now we are like the top 3 unofficial power slap podcasts. I mean, unofficial meaning I named us the unofficial top
Andrew's
3.
so stupid.
But we got a lot of power slap people following us. which is awesome. One guy even reached out saying, hey, if you want me to come on, I'd love to talk more about it. I don't want to be the Power Slap podcast.
This is now the Power Slap podcast.
This is
the slap bet contest.
The Slap Bet podcast. But no, really excited for her.
Okay, let's do it one day where I get to slap you.
And if I get to slap you back.
No.
If I don't get knocked out.
I would not knock you out. Lauren even told me my slap is so weak.
That's okay, though. You don't want to be, a
No.
power slapper.
No.
You're too pretty to be a power slapper.
What are you saying? Lauren's not pretty?
Lauren is very pretty.
Oh, this is going to be a clip.
Brian, we're going to cut this part out. I'm just joking.
Okay, well, anyway, I have a lot of things that I want to talk about today, Andrew.
Let's hear that.
I feel like the world is falling apart.
I mean, it's been falling apart, but why do you think the world is now falling apart?
I think the biggest thing right now is the fact that there are aliens circling New Jersey. Thank goodness you guys are not going to New Jersey.
You're obsessed
for
with
Christmas.
This. Yeah, thankfully. I'd be abducted. You're obsessed with this story.
I am obsessed with this story.
What's going on?
So there's like a whole theory right now that it's actually Germany spying on us. Did you hear this?
No.
So yeah, there's a whole theory now that it's Germany or a different country spying on us. And now future President Donald Trump is saying, shoot him down.
Shoot what down? Drones?
The drones.
In New Jersey.
In New Jersey. Shoot him down.
There's just an abnormal amount of drones.
I guess there's an abnormal amount of drones, and the United States have confirmed that they have no idea whose drones these are. Mm-hmm. But also, like, where did you get drones? Because, like, aren't drones, like, just, like, little dinky things that you fly off the floor and then, like, and then they only go so far, and then...
I mean,
where are they flying drones from Germany? Are we now in the world of technology that we can set drones from Germany to America without them dying?
I think the $100 drone that you got is yes, the dinky version, but there are $1,000 drones, $2,000.
Brian is a certified camera guy. Is there drones that could go from Germany to United States?
Brian doesn't have a microphone, even though I told him to put a microphone on. So just sign language. What
are there drones that could go from Germany to United States?
Military grade, yes.
Military grade. Okay, well, anyway.
I mean, you could sneak those in the country.
Like, okay,
pop them up.
Question, Germany, because Germany's listening right now.
9.
Why are you trying to spy on us anyway? Like, what are your little drones? Like, what's going on in New Jersey that they need to spy?
What's going on in New Jersey? That's the
I figured, because I don't know if there's like an alien sighting in Germany or in New Jersey, but I figured you'd want to fly some drones over Area 51 in Vegas.
Oh, they'll shoot those down immediately.
But why are they not shooting the ones in New Jersey?
Because it's Jersey.
But
you okay?
No!
What's going on with you?
If there are drones that we don't know as America flying over us, why are we not shooting? Why are we just like, wow, what is that?
What's happening in Jersey? What's in Jersey? The Sopranos. That was in Jersey, Mafia.
But they're not in Jersey anymore.
No, not anymore, but they were. So maybe they're scouting? New TV show? Maybe?
You think Germany is flying drones over America to scout new TV shows? Andrew,
The Sopranos was the number one show of all time.
Smarter than this.
I am very smart. The Sopranos was one of the best shows of all time.
Anyway.
You don't think they're scouting for new locations?
It's either fucking aliens or we're getting attacked soon by a different country. So...
I mean, either way is going to be fine.
The world's going to end soon. Anyway, 2025 is another 2020. I'm calling it now.
Was 2020 bad for you? I know the pandemic and all that.
No, that's actually a fun topic.
Thank you.
Do you feel like 2020, like there's some people that struggled hard through 2020, but I feel like 2020 made a lot of us grow up. I got to say, I was kind of just like living my best life. I was doing my radio show by the pool. I learned new hobbies. I learned how to cook. I went skating.
Yeah, without getting political and, doing the whole, conspiracy theory thing, 2020 was tough for a lot of people. I know a few people that did pass away from that.
People lost money.
People lost jobs, money, houses, whatever. I'm just talking strictly for myself and for my company, Neon Boulevard, which we do digital marketing for. Every business realized they needed to be online more than they already were at the time, since nobody.
So it was like good for you.
It was great for us. It was a boom for the digital side.
I kind of just chilled.
You got big on TikTok because of that.
Oh yeah, I did.
That was your thing.
I got more into social media because of 2020 because I was so bored that I was just making dumb ass content in my house all day. But like
you were doing dancing videos. You were doing lip syncing videos.
I don't know what I was doing.
It was a weird time.
But I will say this, I've been working at the same job for 14 years, knock on wood. And I feel like that was the first time I got to experience what it's like not to have a job, even though I technically was working every day.
Were you going in the studio or you were working
No,
from home?
I was working from home.
Mm.
I was working by the pool. I literally would take my equipment and sit in the backyard of Alex's house in the pool every day.
Mm.
And every time I need to do a break, I'm like, oh, I got to do a break in 7 minutes. Swim, 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 swim. Makes 95.1, blah, 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 blah. Is everyone doing okay out there? Cool. Boom, swim, 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 swim.
Is everyone doing okay out there as the world is burning?
Because I had phone lines and I could get texts and calls.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I kind of like just, I feel like I feel like that was a time to really like, you really found out who your friends were. You really found out what you really cared about in life. You found out a lot of stuff about yourself during 2020.
What did you find out about yourself in 2020?
There was a lot of friends that I didn't really care about, so I got rid of them.
I'm glad I made the cut. Did I?
Not really.
We're just here.
We're just here. Brian didn't make the cut either.
Poor Brian. Brian can't stand up for himself because he didn't give himself a microphone.
Oh, he has a microphone now.
Hey! No, I don't hear anything.
I have a microphone.
Yeah.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? The voice of our Lord and Savior, Brian
Yeah.
Klein. Finally, the people can hear
Brian,
his voice.
what was your 2020?
I had a kid, so it was actually silver lining for me. I got
Oh, you got
3
to
months
really
with my
spend
kid
time.
versus 2 weeks.
You got a
So-
pandemic, baby.
So it was good for me.
Do you feel like your son, even though there's not a camera on you, we'll just like pan to a green screen, or just a picture of Brian with a moving mouth. Do you feel like your son is a pandemic baby and now he doesn't like to go out?
No, I mean, for the first year it was rough, but we put him into like Montessori, like preschool, like at 1, when usually people wait a lot longer. So
That he
he
would
was a
get
whole year
social.
behind. He got more social. Now he loves going out.
Okay, cool. Because I know a couple people that had, like Brittany, our friend that does lashes, I think she told me that her baby was like 1 or 2 years old during the pandemic. So she didn't get as much social skills. So she likes to stay home now. I think it was Brittany who told me this story. Sorry, Brittany, if it's not. But yeah, I feel like it kind of shifted the world. Like it literally took the world and went,
Turned it on its head,
yeah.
without a doubt.
And people definitely changed from it. I know a lot of people that like lost their careers and like are doing completely different career paths now and stuff like that. So, and maybe they're happier now. I don't know. But either way, also I realized, did you guys realize this too, that the world, like nature was nicer because we weren't polluting it as much.
Sure. You saw those pictures
There's
of
dolphins going through Venice.
Yeah.
Like,
That was wild.
Yeah. I'm telling you, like, I think that there should be like a rule, like maybe every like Earth Week, we just don't.
We just give
work
ourselves
from
a
home.
pandemic.
We give ourselves a pandemic to like give the Earth a break because global warming is fucking real. It is December in Vegas and it is 70 degrees. I've never had that.
That's crazy.
And Vegas hit 120 this year.
This was the hottest year. I mean, I don't know
Ever.
this is just statistically, but for me, it was the hottest year. And it was every morning you'd wake up sweating.
Remember the year
Brutal.
before when it was like
Mhm.
so nice? It like rained every week. Even if it was like little sprinkles, it was just so nice.
That was nice.
And this year, my power bill was atrocious.
You have solar panels though, right?
Yeah, but fun fact about solar panels, I got them in March. And because they didn't have a whole winter to collect,
It didn't kick in.
it like I had the first 2 months of the summer like were okay. Like
Mhm.
the bills weren't horrible. But then I ran out of solar. And so like I think July, August, September were fucking brutal. I paid like $300 because I had to pay the $100 to the solar company and then $200 to the power company.
How much does it cost to install solar?
Nothing.
What do you mean nothing?
It costs nothing to install solar because they tack it into your bill. So you just I have a $100 bill every month for solar for the next like 20 years, which I plan on paying that off.
Is this NV Energy?
No, I didn't do it through Energy.
Who'd you do?
I don't know what company it was.
Good for them though.
I forgot.
That's great.
We'll
So
see
you-
if they work.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because now I get a full year. Now we're in winter months. I should be collecting some points.
I was in a high rise during the pandemic, right on the Las Vegas Strip, and that was weird because I was facing the west side
And you
of
just
Las Vegas.
not watch people drive.
There was just nobody on the street.
And
It
like
looked
when someone
eerie.
got, this is what's funny about your house. When someone got COVID in the building, they literally would put a sign in the elevator that said someone in the building has COVID.
Yeah.
And that was scary because I'm like, I'm not going to your fucking building. People are touching the buttons. There's COVID just floating around here.
the whole floor was shut down.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was a wild time. That was a crazy time. I don't think we'll ever experience anything like that in our lifetime ever again.
I don't think anyone in our families have ever experienced something like that before.
No.
Unless it was like Oregon Trail times and they like got dysteria from
Was it?
traveling or whatever. The fuck-
Dysentery?
dysentery from traveling from one part of the country to the next. Like that's the only other time in the world that people
Do you think though you would be your account Raised Vegas or Radiohead
I don't know
would be
if
as
I would
big without
see-
the pandemic?
Here's the
'Cause
thing.
Your account right now for Radio Heather, it's your main radio account, your main account that you grew up with. And then you also have Raised in Vegas, which talks all about growing up and being raised in Las Vegas. They're both huge and wildly successful, not only on the engagement standpoint, but on a money making standpoint too. You're making money because of how big you are. Do you think you would have been able to reach those points or those milestones without the pandemic?
No. I think I would have. I've always been into video editing, but I really took the time to practice and get my craft going during the pandemic. So I don't, because radio was so busy. I was also in my own little bubble with radio. Like I literally only hung out with my radio friends. I would only go to radio events every night. Like it was very much just that. And I feel like the pandemic kind of fucked up the music industry, to be honest.
How so?
Because a lot of people realized that you didn't need to go and do all these tour dates. Like this is a whole different conversation for a different day. But I feel like it fucked up the radio industry, or no, the radio industry, the music industry as a whole. And they're not doing as many things as they used to do.
That's too bad. Because
It is too bad.
you like your festivals and your concerts, they were a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
They were so much fun.
They
I
were
was
so much
backstage
fun.
all the time. I was at concerts at least once a week, and then that just like dropped.
Mm.
And they had to reform. And I feel like now a lot of bands don't come to Vegas.
You don't
Even
think
more
so?
so ever. Yeah, I just found out one of my favorite bands, and one of your favorite bands is not coming next year.
I kind of don't want you to ruin my mood, but I need to know. So who's
You don't care much about it. They were on my top 5 list.
Matchbox 20?
Nope.
I'm out of ideas. K-Flay?
K-Flay never comes to Vegas.
She came like 3 times.
Okay, whatever.
Who?
I'm not gonna say.
Is it insider information?
can't
Is that why?
say.
Oh, so
I
it's
can't
so
say.
it's insider information.
Yeah, I cannot say because they have not announced their tour.
Okay, well then say that.
Hey,
Instead of
I
making me-
cannot say because they haven't announced their tour.
Thank you. Heather has a lot of inside information. I'm stuck between Brian and Heather, who both have a lot of inside information
Oh, dude, if
that I
if
can't share a word. I don't even know who I can tell.
I can make this podcast blow up by saying one thing that I know, and I would get in so much trouble for saying it.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that.
But something will happen in the next 2 years that people will be very excited for
Something big is about to happen in the next decade.
in the music industry.
It's going to blow your mind.
and it's going to blow your mind.
We'll just leave it at that.
Perfect. Make that a clip.
We'll announce it on episode 3.
Heather's insights.
Yeah.
I know
Heather's,
something that you guys don't know, and once you find out, you're going to lose your shit.
have you ever gotten in trouble doing that before? By having some information you shared that you probably shouldn't have shared?
No, because I'm really good about it. And a lot of times they I haven't had to do this, but a lot of times they'll make you sign like NDAs.
A lot of people do trust you with their secrets. You're very trustworthy.
I'm trustworthy. If I think it's like a fun secret to tell, though, I'm like, hey, did you hear this? But if it's like something serious that like if someone did find out, it would get me in trouble or it would be bad, I wouldn't tell.
We don't want to get Heather in trouble. We love Heather. We love Radio Heather, Raised in Vegas.
I
Heather.
hear a lot of songs from artists before they're even out, like weeks in advance.
Yeah, I remember you heard a 21 Pilots song early and didn't let
I've
me hear
heard
it.
Matchbox 20's whole album like 3 months before it came out.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
You even went out there, right? Met them?
No, that was a different time. Remember when I went to Nashville
Yes.
and saw Kyle?
Kyle
He
Cook.
played me the whole album.
You know what I like about you is when you talk about Kyle, except for this one moment, you always say
Kyle Cook.
Kyle Cook from Matchbox 20. Like I know who Kyle is. I've sat down.
Yeah,
and
but
had
we have other
drinks with-
friends named Kyle.
We do, but I like that you say his full name. Kind of like how you always say
Because
Zach from
that
American
band,
Authors.
hang on. Well, because I'm trying to tell you who I'm trying to talk about. But that band in particular, like, will forever hold a special place in my heart. And
Sure.
I secretly, when I'm around that band, I'm inside fangirling. Like 12-year-old Heather comes out every time I'm around that band. I'm like, holy shit, there's the band. There they are. They're in front of me. Holy shit, they know my name. They're talking to me. Like forever. It will forever. It turns me into a 12-year-old every time.
Even
Even to
up
today.
to today.
Even to today.
Like you're friends with Rob Thomas. You know Rob Thomas personally. You're familiar
If
with.
Rob Thomas says hi, I'm like, hey, Rob.
Is he still your number one artist? Is that better?
According to my Spotify Unwrapped playlist thing, no.
Who?
K-Flay is 6 years in a row.
K-Flay's great.
I love K-Flay.
She is awesome.
K-Flay just writes music, I feel like, that really is relatable to me, especially. Like I feel like I'm growing with K-Flay. Like she'll write a song and I'm like, oh, that's how I feel right now. Crazy. And you like the Foo Fighters. You like Dave Grohl, who's a piece of shit.
Okay. He personally, yeah, he's not in the best spotlight
Someone
right
said the
now.
other day, do you think Dave Grohl's career's over? And I go, correct.
No, he's a rock star. He's the persona of like the dad
And that's
rock.
a problem with men.
Here we go.
The fact that you think that
Here we
Dave Grohl is a rock star still, even though he had a baby
That's
with
the
another
rock star
person.
lifestyle. That's the dirty side of having
You know what
a
rock stars
star
are?
lifestyle.
Let me. This is a clip. Here's a clip for you.
Yeah.
Rock stars have Peter Pan syndrome.
I don't know what that means.
Rock stars have Peter Pan syndrome because what did Peter Pan want to do? He never
Wanted to grow
up. Rock stars don't want to grow up. They want to live in this life of fun, touring, whatever. But I will say this about musicians. Have you ever realized that like a band will write an album and it will go huge?
Sure.
And then their second album is probably just as good. And then it goes in the third and fourth album. And it's kind of like, because what happens is they get the first album and that's all their emotions as a normal person before they blow up. That's their heartbreak, their struggles, their da-da-da. Their second album is still heartbreak, struggles, da-da-da. And then as the third, fourth, fifth, sixth album comes along, they've got the money, they've got the wife, they've got the house, they've got the car. So there's really not struggles there anymore.
I think we were talking about that
But-
with Michael last week, right?
Yeah, females, I realize, have an opposite. This is why I feel like Gwen Stefani just wrote a song called Somebody Else's. And I'm like, oh, my heart. Because I feel like females in the music industry will get men and men get insecure with them. And they'll fucking shit on their relationship. So females will continue to write heartbreaking songs like Taylor Swift because they're getting shit on because men don't like girls that are more powerful than them. This is my theory about the music industry and writing songs.
Unfortunately, I agree with you. I agree with everything with that statement. You know, I feel like the Foo Fighters, my favorite band of all time, absolutely. Even with the personal things going on the side with Dave Grohl.
Their album writing has not been as great.
Their album writing hasn't been as great, even up to, I would say, the last two albums.
I would say The Neighborhood, the song,
Mhm.
House in the Neighborhood, or whatever the fucking song's called.
Yeah,
I thought that was a good song.
That was a good
and
one.
then I feel like I have not listened to anything good from them since then.
Yeah. Well, when we went to the show, we saw them in San Diego recently. This is the second time we've seen them. This time we saw them at Petco Park, and it was probably the best concert moment I've ever had because
It was beautiful.
it was outside. I took an edible. The edible kicked in as soon as they came on stage. And there was a part of the concert where they played a 30-second cover of Enter Sandman by Metallica. And even though it's not their song, Enter Sandman to me is like the top rock anthem of all time. When you think of rock and roll, you think of that song. And my favorite band was playing one of my favorite songs, and the wind from the ocean was blowing in my face. The edible was kicking in. Life was just so great
In that moment.
in that moment for the 30 seconds, and that was my peak moment. But then shortly after that, they were performing. Dave Grohl was doing his thing. He's older now. He's got to be 50s something.
He's definitely not as good as he used to be.
Definitely not as young as he looked, and he was sweating. He's got dad bod for days, and when he was throwing his fist up like rocking out to the crowd, it just looked like
He was struggling.
It looked like it was the old man yelling at his kids, "Get off my yard!" That's what the feeling that I got, and it could have been the edible talking, but yeah, that was a little bit of a bummer for me.
Well,
That was
our
like-
favorite rock stars are getting old, but you know who still rocks?
Who's
And
that?
Still is amazing.
Who's that?
Even though he's getting older? Rob Thomas.
Oh, Rob Thomas. Do you listen to Rob Thomas? I had no idea.
Okay, get out of here. Next topic.
Speaking of TikTok, let's stick on TikTok for a second. Are they getting banned? What's going on with that?
Okay, so I
Do you
was-
have insider
So
information
this
as
is
an
what's
influencer?
so funny. So I had a dream last night that was crazy. And I think it's because I dropped off my friend Talls last night and we were talking about it when we got in the car about how TikTok, like a lot of my friends in the social media influencer industry, they use TikTok to make a lot of their money. Like a lot of them have really big accounts and they get a lot of money from TikTok. I kind of abandoned TikTok. I was over it. I went to Instagram. And with that being said, I said something in their group chat of all the influencers saying, I hope TikTok gets banned because guess what? I'm over it. And then when they told me that, I realized in that moment, oh, a lot of my friends do make money off this.
Sure.
But according to what the news said this morning, because a news article was released this morning, that on January 15, 16, 17, one of those days, TikTok will be banned. They asked for an extension, and the United States said no. So, unless they get their shit together by January, whatever, TikTok will be banned. Now, will I think it'll be banned forever? No. I think you'll probably be gone for like a month, maybe 2. To prove a point, I feel like that is why they're doing it. Like, don't fuck with us.
Do you know why TikTok's getting banned?
I think it's because, from my understanding, it is that their servers are not in America, so we can't see what they're doing, and we're feeding China information that it should be sacred to the United States people or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what it is. I get it. I understand. But I do feel bad for my friends who have sat here and spent lots of time and effort to build these profiles to make a living or make their story heard or whatever it may be, because they're going to lose that.
Once again, another country is spying on us. Whether it's Germany spying on us with drones.
I don't know why they care about us so much. Like, why do you get comfortable about this
Get
conversation?
comfy.
I don't understand why they care about us so much. Like, you guys got your shit going on over there. Just leave us alone.
We're having a hard time over here. Just let us.
Yeah, we're
let us
having
recover.
a moment, okay?
We're having a moment.
We need to go to therapy. We understand that. Like, no one's perfect.
We're working on things. We're working on ourselves.
Just let us be for a minute. We'll come back to you soon.
Mm-hmm.
Go away.
Just leave us alone.
Just leave America alone.
This country was built on the comeback story, and we're working on our comeback story.
Yeah, we're not coming back yet.
Yeah.
I did hear this, though. That one of the first things Trump wants to do when he gets into office is get rid of daylight savings time, and I'm so excited.
Why are you excited about that?
Because I fucking hate
Would you
daylight
rather
savings time.
it be lighter, longer, or darker?
Yeah,
longer?
it would be the lighter longer. Because right now when I leave work, it's dark outside and I feel like I wasted my whole day. I feel like if I don't get up at 6 a.m. and get a lot of shit done before I have to go to work, my day is gone.
Yeah.
So I hope that happens.
Well, I mean, they've been talking about this for a while, and I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know enough about the politics or governments to really get a good understanding about, what's current these days. I know about the headlines. That's pretty much the extent of my knowledge with global politics. But one thing I am keeping an eye on is the update with daylight savings time, because I do hope they just get rid of it.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of things that are going to happen starting in January. No more TikTok. Maybe daylight savings time will go away. Maybe March will be the last time we move forward.
Look at us. Moving forward. America 2025, moving forward.
Just give us some time. We're going through struggles.
We're going through it.
Germany,
okay?
stop spying on us. It's not good over here.
Give it a break, Germany. Come
Leave us alone.
on. Speaking of everything's on fire, the United Healthcare killer, what's going on with him?
Okay, this is why America needs to take a break.
Is this, first of all,
Because we're obsessing as Americans
how do you feel
over
about
this guy being so hot. Have you not seen the videos where people are like glorifying him, being like, this man's beautiful? People are like raising money, like GoFundMe had to take down the fund that was being like, save him.
How much did they make from it?
I don't know how much they made, but they were literally like, save him. Like, we got to save him.
Did you donate?
No, I didn't donate.
Good, just making sure.
I just I'm wild. Like, there's so many girls being like, this guy's so hot. And I'm like, or like they're playing like Britney Spears, Mama, I'm in love with a criminal. And I'm like, what are we doing, America?
Do you think he was more attractive before they unmasked him?
No, he's more attractive now because
Really?
he's a bad boy. Because we're obsessed with bad boys.
Every girl wants a bad boy.
Yeah, they're not good for us, guys. What are we doing?
You do like the bad boy.
I do. I'm not anymore.
Why is that?
I'm over the toxicity. This is why my life is so boring.
I think you like the toxicity.
No.
I think you kind of like it. You're drawn to it at least.
If I never talk to whoever again, I'd probably be happy about it.
I could agree with
I'm
that.
at that point where I'm like, I don't need this.
I actually don't know. I know. I'm thinking of two names right now, and I'm
Starts with
assuming.
B.
Okay, I got you.
Like,
Fair
honestly, if I never heard from him again, I'd be like, cool. See ya.
Yeah, I get that.
It's just not worth my time.
On the flip side, though, from the guy's point of view, it's so easy to be toxic. It's
Is
so
it?
easy to be toxic.
This is actually a good subject
And
because
still get what
Brian
you
and
want.
you are here. Oh, I just realized that the plastic is still on my. I need to cut that off.
Are you going to return that later? Is that
No,
is that what's going on?
No, I took off the tag, but the plastic is still there. No, as two men in this room, have you ever been toxic to a girl, Brian?
Brian's a gentleman.
Brian, have you
would
ever been
never.
toxic to a girl? Like, can you think of one situation in your life where you're like, I definitely fucked her over?
No.
Andrew?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt.
How many, Andrew?
Oh, I don't know.
Is there one story in particular that you did like a girl really dirty?
Probably. I mean, I'm going through the list here, and I'm sure there is, between not being as honest or gaslighting or, just on the same token, though, as you mature and you get older, you realize, listen, I may not have been the best, but you learn from your mistakes and you continue to grow.
That's
You
awesome.
continue to be better.
Cool.
I feel like I've been better the
Okay.
past 2-3 years. 2 years.
I'd
Let's
say
say
a
2
year.
years.
I'd say a year.
I'd say a year and a half.
I'd say a year.
We'll meet in the middle and go 2 years.
Nope. I'll say a year.
And I'm growing. I'm maturing, as they say. As a person
Andrew, if
matures.
you want to grow an audience with this podcast,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to be really honest out there.
I mean, I'll be honest. Do you want details? Is that what you want? You want details?
We don't need details.
Okay. I mean, we could talk details.
Okay, but back to what I was saying. As a man, do you feel like girls are attracted to the bad boys?
Absolutely. And again, because it's so easy to not be a bad boy, but at least have bad boy habits.
Have you ever seen a text from a girl and go, I'll reply to that later because I know she's probably itching for a reply?
Oh, you absolutely wait. You don't jump immediately to the reply. You maybe set a timer for yourself. Maybe set it at a 12-minute mark or a 7-minute mark.
Wait. Hold up. Men
You don't reply.
are setting timers.
If you're smart about it, absolutely.
Men are setting timers. And isn't that more effort than just saying like, hey, what's up? Blah, blah.
In the early stages, though, when you haven't gotten what you want yet as a guy, you have to play these little games to get to where you want to go. So you don't set a timer for 10 minutes because that's too obvious. If you respond every 10 minutes, then it's obvious. But if you set a timer for like 7 minutes, you remind yourself, okay, let's reply back. Because if a girl texts you and you immediately text back, it shows eagerness. And I'm sure some girls will say, yes,
Okay, but
I like that.
hold
But
up.
in reality, they don't.
Hold up.
Now they do. As you mature, you're okay with the
It's mature.
You're okay with the eagerness to talk to each other. But growing up, you absolutely want to.
Is this a man texting me back 24 hours later?
He probably said a notification.
I like to say, Andrew, does that not work for you because you have your red receipts on for your phone?
I only have red receipts on for the two people in this room.
Okay.
right now, and my dad. That's it. I don't have red receipts on for everybody.
And I had to fight you for that.
You had to fight me for that, yeah. Because.
I had to fight you for that.
But then there are also times where I legit forget to respond. Like I'll be, I'll respond later, and then I forget. And especially as I'm getting older, I forget to respond a lot.
Okay, so if you really like a girl, are you still playing these games with her?
All right. So are you asking Andrew now, or are you asking Andrew?
No, Andrew
young-
back. Andrew back then.
Andrew back then. All right. So what was the question again? I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. If you like a girl, do you show it?
Okay, so if you really actually like a girl, are you still playing these games with her?
Depends on what you're hoping to get out of it. If you're hoping
If
to
you
get,
actually really like her and see potential of this girl being somewhere in your life,
then you should, yes. Then you would at that point open up a little bit more.
you wouldn't make her time. You wouldn't set timers for her.
Yeah, but this would be, I would say, later in the.
So even if
dating.
you really like a girl and you're like 2 weeks in, you still might play those games with her.
2 weeks in, really like the girl, depending on what her feedback is within those 2 weeks. If it seems like she's eager to talk to you, then I'd be more eager to talk back to her. Talk in
I
a
feel
positive
like
manner.
when I was talking to you, you didn't make me wait ever.
So you and I, let's give a little history. You and I met on a dating app
Yeah,
on Hinge.
Hinge.
And you downloaded it for a segment on
the
your
radio show. Yeah.
Did you ever air that, by the way?
No, I went on air and said I downloaded a new a dating app. It's called Hinge. I did a segment about it, but I didn't talk about you on there.
And what was your opening line for me? Do you remember?
To you?
Yeah.
Oh, I know exactly what it was. You
What
want
was
to talk about the best opening line ever?
This is actually a pretty good line.
He put on there, I got dad jokes. And I was like, do you have dad jokes? Match your dad bod? Ask me for dating advice, guys.
Insulting me as an opener definitely caught my attention. You played the reverse Uno card on me, and I wasn't ready for it, but it definitely caught my attention.
Because I honestly, Andrew is not my type. Never thought Andrew was hot. Just was like,
Now
all
she
right,
does.
nah.
I'm like a 9 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10, 10 out of 10 even.
No. No.
First of
I
all,
like
how dare
drug
you?
addicts with tattoos.
Yeah, we talked about that. We definitely got to talk about the types of guys you are attracted to. But we'll save that for
Ex-drug addicts.
ex drug addicts, not current drug addicts.
Ex-drug addicts with tattoos.
They're recovering. They're working on their comeback story too.
Sure.
Just like America.
But anyway, so I just was really mean to Andrew because I had no interest.
I was fresh off of a broken engagement. This was
But
6
you already
months?
were dating someone. You already had a girl that you were talking to for a while.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you weren't the first girl that matched with me on Hinge. You were just somebody along the
journey.
along the journey there.
So many girls.
But no, you're fresh off the engagement, definitely down in the dumps. My dad, who's been single almost my entire life, was the one that was like, hey, get back out there, at least get on the dating apps. Because when I was with my ex, I was never on dating apps because it was taboo.
So
at the
you
time.
got on dating apps and were like, wow, what a great world this is. I got to swipe and find hot girls.
It felt good to get attention from other people that were attractive that, were just openly having a conversation with you. And that kind of helped me get past
that helped
the
me become
breakup.
a whore.
It helped me become
A
a
whore.
it helped me get
whore.
my swag back,
A whore.
my confidence back.
A whore. Brian?
And
whore.
then
Brian will not disagree with you.
Brian's never
Because-
been on a dating app because Brian
Really?
is
You've never been on a dating app?
I don't think dating apps were really around when I was like
no,
dating.
it wasn't. Brian's been with his wife for how long now?
Well, we just hit our 6-year wedding anniversary, so we probably 10 to 12-ish.
Give yourself a round of applause on that soundboard over there. You
Nope.
can't find it.
I don't know
Okay.
which one it is.
Oh.
Just press one. Let's see.
Let's see. Hey, he did it. His face, he was so excited. He was so excited that he chose correctly.
That's so funny.
Good for you.
Door number one.
Door number one. So no, Brian can't understand it. But when you have these attractive people reaching out to you and having these conversations, it gives you that boost.
Can I ask a question?
It was
though?
like a kid in a candy store.
Okay, but some of the girls that you were talking to were literal trash. So,
Again, it's less about them at that time. For me, it was less about them and more about how I felt by having 5 girls message me, hey, good morning, or whatever.
but can I ask you a question?
can
Why
ask me.
do guys go for literal trash over a quality girl?
It's going to sound so awful, but ease, just the ease of being able to.
Because they're more attentive, they're more giving attention, they're more willing to just come over at the drop of a dime to go suck your dick.
Yeah.
And while the ones that are actually worth the damn are like, no, I'm good. I'm going to stay in. We can go to dinner this week.
It's again, this all sounds awful, but yes, the more eager
So,
ones.
ladies, so if you were going to give me advice on how to be better at playing the game, what would you say is the way to play the
I mean, again, you're asking current day Andrew. Current day Andrew
Well,
would say,
go back into the mind of being a hoe.
okay, hold on, let me. Tits and vagina.
Oh, gross.
I would say if you want to get laid and you need
Nope.
to get laid, then be as slutty as you can. But if you are looking for someone that you're looking to settle down with, first of all, get off the apps. You're not going to find
That's what I said.
Mr. Right.
That's what I
on
said.
Hinge. Go out and meet people. Get comfortable talking to people and starting a conversation. But that's where you're going to find them. You're not going to find them on apps because when you have this flood of girls coming your way, unless you have a 10 out of 10 in your inbox, you're going to keep looking at who's next. She's great, but who else do I have? Who else is matching with me? So that feeling of what's next is always going to be on at least my mind when I was on the apps. As opposed to meeting them out in public, you're just having a one-on-one
So if you see
communication.
Andrew on the dating apps,
You're not going to see me on dating apps
He's a hoe.
because when I went back on the dating apps a couple years ago, I started to recognize some of the people, and I have
okay.
I have a pretty good memory.
Okay. That is where okay, so I don't know if I told you this, but when we were in Denver, me and Aaron were like, let's download the dating apps. I want to see what men in Denver look like compared to Vegas. Because I was going to do a post about it. Like, what are the quality of men in Denver versus Vegas as a Raised in Vegas post?
Sure.
And I was like, holy shit, there's so many like hot guys out here. She calls them granolas, I think. Granolas.
Granolas.
That's what Denver men are called. Or Denver people are called granolas. I think I might be wrong.
My old admin.
You know what it is?
It's like Outback
Okay,
people.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
they call them that in like Alaska too.
Yeah, granolas. So anyway, I forgot to delete the profile when we
Sure.
got back to Vegas. So like 2 days later, I'm sitting there and I was like, oh no, my shit's getting flooded now on Instagram. I was getting DMs saying, hey, just swiped right on you. And I was like, swiped right on me? I'm not on dating apps. And I go, oh, fuck, I left it on. So as a curiosity, and I needed to screen record what the men in Vegas look like, I started swiping right. Y'all, I saw people on there that have been on there for like 7 years.
You recognize them?
Yeah, and I was like, holy. One of them I even DM'd, and I was like, laughed my ass off. And he's like, wow, that was incredibly rude. And I was like, sorry, you're still on here? Like, what?
I mean, for the record, you were on there too.
Yeah, but I wasn't on there to be on there. I deleted the profile literally 20 minutes later. I was like, oop, gotta get out of here. Because I realized in that moment, like, I don't want to be the one that's still on there. So when you see people on there from like 7-6 years ago, you're like, wow, it's obviously you.
It's not me. It's
It's not
definitely
me.
you.
It was you. Because they're still on there.
Sure.
So I just feel like the dating apps are very, I think in the beginning, maybe they were a good place to meet people.
Not
All the good ones are gone.
When I went on the dating apps the second round, it was probably a year and a half later or something like that. And I have a pretty good memory. I would
Was
recognize.
this in 2020? 2021? 2020?
Probably. It was around there. I don't remember. Because it was right around the start of the pandemic. I would remember these girls. I even remember small bits of information about them, and they didn't remember me at all. So I absolutely played on that. Like, oh, my favorite band is the Jonas Brothers, even though they weren't. But I knew that they loved the Jonas Brothers from what I remembered.
You literally told girls that the Jonas Brothers were
I'm not saying the Jonas Brothers were the exact band, but along the lines.
Okay,
of
like
it.
if they liked Matchbox 20.
Yeah. I'd say something small that would trigger my interest, show my interest in Matchbox 20, and I knew that would trigger a positive response from them. And then I would stand out from the other 20 guys that are sliding in their inbox.
Did you ever find a girl that was mean to you ever again?
I found a girl in Vegas who was on the show Big Brother, and she was one of the most racist people I've ever met
I
in
mean,
my
like
life.
me, who like literally sat there and been like, do you have a dad bod to match your dad jokes?
No, nobody was ever as mean as you were in that opening line. It's all,
I'm a bitch.
I mean, you weren't a bitch. You were just,
You know that song by Meredith
Standing
Brooks,
out.
Bitch?
I'm a bitch.
I feel like that's the
I'm a
perfect song to
lover,
describe
I'm a
me.
child. I'm a mother.
I feel like that's a perfect song to describe me.
I would never call you that, but if that's what you think is, then sure.
I'm not very nice.
I'm not going to agree with
I'm
you.
not very nice.
You can be.
I literally just screamed at both of you before we started the show.
You've been screaming at me for the past week about this and that or whatever it is.
You suck.
How dare you? What are you screaming at Brian for? Brian's just minding his own business
Because
over
I
there.
feel bad because I literally was like, well, the lights sucked last episode. And Brian's like, well, sorry.
Heather was mad because she was in the shadows last episode. She was in the dark corner, and she had a black office chair that she did not like.
I did not. I'll say this. I definitely think we should get more on this topic on another day because I think we're like running out of time right now. But maybe we should bring in like a therapist or something to come on the show to talk about it or something.
Not one of mine or one of yours.
You don't want to call in Tracy?
Absolutely not. Tracy doesn't. Your therapist Tracy does not like me
No, she doesn't.
because I don't like her.
Oh, I'm going to send her this clip.
Okay, so Brian, we're gonna cut that out too. We're not gonna.
Wow, what did Tracy ever do to you? Listen to your problems?
No, you tell me sometimes about what you guys talk about, and I don't want to.
She's on my side.
Of course, she's on your side. You pay her. She's going to be on. She's not going to not be on your side and say, "Okay, here's the invoice for $100."
I don't pay $100.
How much do you pay?
$20.
Are you kidding me?
No,
Why do you pay so little?
because my insurance covers it.
That's bullshit.
You have to find a therapist in your. I know that's why you don't go to therapy so much because it's like $150 to go see your therapist.
I don't go to therapy as much because we run out of things to talk about. I've resolved all my internal
No.
demons.
Okay, Andrew, I've been in therapy for 3 years, once a week for 3 years.
I go
I
once every 3
guarantee
weeks.
If you went to therapy every week for 3 years, you'd be a different person.
I am a different person.
No, you went to therapy like 4 times.
I'm a changed man. What do you want me to say?
Brian, have you been to therapy?
Brian,
I am very anti-therapy.
yeah, Brian's not. a
Brian is
therapy
definitely
guy.
not talking about his feelings to anyone.
No, Brian hasn't talked about his feelings. Since
Brian
the 80s.
fixes his feelings by making art.
Yeah,
Brian is a Pisces.
How do you express your emotions, Brian? Let's get deep.
He makes Star Wars characters.
Yeah, I spend my time in the garage late at night, clear my head.
When you have issues, whether it's work or personal, whatever, that's your alone time. That's your therapy time.
It's the only way I can get out of my head.
What goes
I
in
will
your head?
say, as another Pisces, when I do art projects, it really does clear my head.
Is Brian a Pisces?
Yeah, we're both Pisces.
What is that supposed to mean?
We're both very creative, very emotional people.
I see that. You're both very creative.
It just depends what his like moon rising and
I
sun
don't-
rising shit
don't know
is.
about
Brian,
any of
what's
that.
your moon?
I don't know about any of that.
What's your double moon
I'll have to look up his.
rising?
I have a friend that me and him almost have the exact same like moon rising or whatever, and it makes sense why we're so similar.
All right, great. Well, I think it's a good place to end the
Next
second
week, my
episode.
therapist will be here, and I got to show you the best present I've ever gotten.
Not your therapist, a therapist.
My therapist.
You were not bringing her in.
Why?
Do you have a little something for episode 3 too, for the next week's episode?
I just want to show you the coolest advent calendar that I've ever gotten in my life.
All right. Well, we'll check it out. HeyBigHead.com. Latest episodes. We'll see you then.
Deuces.
Deuce.
Well, there it is.
There it is.
Now it's a 6 out of 10.
What do you mean 6 out of 10? Just rock out, brother.